this my car?
State Farm knows that for every one of those moments,
This is ridiculous!
there's one of these.
Is this my car? What? This is ridiculous.
This can't be happening!
This can't be happening.
Oh, it's happening, sweetheart.
Oh, it's happening, sweetheart.
Shut up.
Shut up!
Ah!
That's why State Farm is there, with car insurance for when things go wrong, but also here with car loans to help life go right. State Farm.
Talk to State Farm agent Marty Size or Michelle Rudolph in Albuquerque today.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth that's real tough, backed by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of Proview Sports Network.
Get into the game with Garden Swartz Team Sales. They have everything you need, from screen printing, embroidery, and digital printing services, high school letterman jackets, and all high school and club uniforms and individual and team apparel with the most reliable brands like Speedline, Rollins, and Wilson. And don't forget to check out the latest F7 Shut helmet. It's all at Garden Swartz Team Sales. Give them a call, 505-884-1234. Garden Swartz Team Sales.
At Gala Chevrolet, our master technicians service every make and model no matter where you purchase your vehicle. But that's not all. We also provide certified service on every GM model. So if your car's been acting a little funny lately or something just doesn't seem right, don't wait. Bring it in to the most modern service facility in the entire state and let us make sure that you're driving a vehicle you and your family can depend on. Service done right the first time, every time, right here at the all-new Gala Chevrolet.
Are we on? Are we on?
Why wouldn't we be?
We're on. All right. Hey, welcome to Red Menace TV here on Proview Networks. Leroy Lucero along with Michael Carlisle. Michael.
Yes, sir?
I'm like tongue-tied. I don't even know. I mean, I watched last night's game, Lobo basketball. If you want to even call it a game. This is on the heels of, I don't even, who did they lose to before?
Colorado State.
And who did they lose to before?
UNLV.
It's like, you know, of course, you know that I also write and work with Mark Smith at enchantmentsports.com. He had a story the other day where he talked about wash, rinse, repeat, wash, rinse, repeat. Do you see that same thing with Lobo basketball right now? It's like, I don't even know if it's washed.
Well, the problems you see with Lobo basketball are the problems that you've seen all year. Whether they're playing man-to-man, whether they're playing zone, they can't stop anybody. And people go inside on them at will, despite the fact that they're one of the tallest teams in the country. They don't defend the three-point shot very well. Paul Weir talked about that a lot last night in his postgame. But, yeah, I mean, you haven't, no matter what he's tried, whether it's, like I said, the man-to-man, the zone, you do some different things with the zone, it's the same things every game.
I mean, watching, and we talked about this, gosh, it was the Air Force game. And I know the Lobos won that game, and I believe that's the first game they went into the alleged 2-3 zone.
No, they did that way back before they ended the Penn game.
Was it the Penn game when they? So, and I say alleged because even like last night listening to, I don't know who the play-by-play guy was, but the color guy was Dan Dickow, not formerly, he was a Gonzaga Bulldog, and I think Washington, if I'm not mistaken. And they were saying, what is this zone? I mean, is it an extended 2-3? Is it a box and one?
Well,
what is it? It's like
in the second half, they went a little 1-3-1, trying to do something to stop the three-point shooting. And unfortunately, that didn't really work out.
I mean, it was just, I mean, that 4-1 deal that they've got going where they put 4 guys on the perimeter and then 1 guy on the bottom, they're just dropping it to the guy at the high post, and he just turned around and he was nailing that shot. Mensa, I think his name was. And then I can't remember who the other guy was that was just like forget about it. I mean, you drop to the high post. And then I think you saw the frustration defensively for the Lobos, which is the whole season's been frustration.
Sure.
Because then all of a sudden the guards were able to penetrate. And then when they tried to pack it in, then all of a sudden, bam, they were hitting the threes. And I mean, some of those threes were for super long distance. But I don't know. I mean, I know we talked last week about Paul Weir being frustrated. He's got to be triple frustrated at this point.
I'm sure he is. The problem the Lobos faced last night, and I was actually a little surprised they didn't go back to the man-to-man.
Yeah.
At least some, because San Diego State, a team who's had their problems this year as well.
Absolutely.
When they're able to hit the three, they're a pretty doggone good team. And when you pack in that zone and dare them to shoot over you, and they're making the shots, you can't allow that to continue to happen. And in the zone, the Lobos weren't able to cut off the three-point shots for the Aztecs.
Well, they opened up in that weird 4-1 deal. I don't even know what the heck that thing is. Like you said, and Mensa went to town. A guy, I think he averages like 11 points a game, and I think he had 12 points in the first couple of minutes, like that.
Yeah, he had 16 for the game.
Right, and I mean, and then it was like everything was a mess. I don't know. I mean, as a coach, I mean, as obviously we're fans, we don't know exactly what's going on, but you started this and you've geared this whole team to being that press, man-to-man, full court press, crazy defense was the original thing.
Right.
Obviously it didn't work out. Whether the players were able to handle it or not handle it, whatever it was, then now it just seems like Paul Weir is just kind of pulling whatever he can out of the air and try to change things. At this point, do you just go back to the press and just hope for the best? Try to gear them up as best you can in that way?
Well, I mean, you can, but it didn't work. It didn't work to the point where you were forced, in the middle of the season to change, and nobody wants to change that drastic of a change,
Sure.
but they were forced to. I guess you could go back to it, but that hadn't really worked either. Here's the bigger issue. For whatever reason, and it doesn't matter whether it's the zone, whatever version of it is, or the man-to-man, the Lobos aren't playing defense.
Right.
Whether, and I don't want to be overly critical, but let's be honest about it. It really comes down to one or two things. Either they don't want to play defense, or they're just not capable. Because you look at the way teams get inside on the Lobos, and really, much smaller guys, and really have uncontested shots and score at ease. Something else we were talked about after the CSU game. San Diego State had 50 points in the paint last night.
That night?
No, it was last night. San Diego State had.
San Diego State.
San Diego State.
CSU.
No, San Diego State had 50 points in the paint last night.
That's crazy.
And you're one of the biggest teams in the country, packing in a zone, and teams are either driving or working the ball inside like that. That's crazy.
And I think you said something. I don't think you stumbled on it. I think you're absolutely right. When they were playing man-to-man, they were just getting beat.
Sure.
I mean, there's no doubt about it. They're getting
I don't
beat.
think they had quite.
But now that they're playing zone, it's like they're not even trying. I mean, I hate to say it like that, but it just looks that way. Like the effort just isn't there. Like, are they lost, or is the effort not there?
Well, I guess part of it could be a byproduct of going from the exclusive man-to-man to zone in the middle of the season. It started clicking for a couple of games, but maybe they just don't know what to do in certain situations. When guys are driving. Again, you don't just change up your entire defense in the middle of the year unless it's something you have to do. That's usually something you work on an entire offseason to get everybody on the same page. So maybe that's part of it as well.
And part of it, I'm sure, is perception, because when you see the full court press and you see that tough man-to-man defense, it looks like there's a lot of effort, whereas when they're playing zone, it seems like you're just kind of laying back. I know there's still effort involved. It just doesn't look as like you're exerting as much effort as you do when you're playing that man-to-man defense. But now, not only in the zone are they getting beat, but they look slow-footed. I mean, like I said, they're getting the ball into the high paint or the high post. The defender comes out from under the basket to try to defend. Some guy cuts from the side to hit him with an interior pass, and you have a dunk or an easy layup. Or shoot, the guy at the high post just starts knocking down shots, and defense is lost. I mean, at this point, it's just that guy down low is and how do I say this? I don't want to say it like I'm knocking the players, but Mark Smith mentioned it, and I think Grammer. The basketball IQ of the players doesn't look good right now, defensively.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're out of sorts.
Yeah.
And again, not to make excuses for him, but this is a defense that you kind of learned on the fly as the season's going along, almost out of necessity. And, I mean, maybe you're right. Maybe they should go back to the man-to-man, but they had these exact same problems in the man-to-man, so I don't know what, if anything, that changes.
Now, offensively, obviously the talk has been all season long with Lyles being injured at the beginning.
Dequan Lyle, yeah.
But the season's halfway over now, so it's like, how long do we keep using that as an excuse? At this point, I'm just saying. I mean,
well,
other people have injuries too.
Sure.
It's at this point, Mathis has been almost exclusively, I don't want to say exclusively, but majority of time been bringing the ball up, trying to play point guard. I noticed last night they tried to get McGee and Drennan more involved at the point guard position, allowing Mathis freed up a little bit. At this point, I mean, you're what's the record? 8-9, I think.
Yeah.
You really have no shot for postseason unless you just get super hot. At the end, like we said at the beginning.
Right. Funny, you have the same shot at postseason you had before the season
as you
started.
did before. But
so
now,
so to answer your question, yes, that is why you try to figure something out. Because
Right.
if you can look, this Lobo team struggled last year, got hot right around this time last year, and made a nice run into the tournament and made it to the conference final. Came up a little short, but yeah, that's why you keep driving. They actually. The Colorado State game got McGee and Drennan more minutes. Drennan had like 10 minutes and McGee had 19. Last night, McGee had 20 and 19 for Drennan. Mathis at this point is probably going to be your primary ball handler, but the more you can get McGee and Drennan involved and take a little bit of that load off of Mathis so he can focus on being what he truly is, and that's a two guard, theoretically at least, the better that is for your offense. And yeah,
well,
look.
I mean, are they at the point now, and I guess this is where I was going, this is the point, it's like you just throw out everything that you've been doing and just kind of start working towards, the end of this season and obviously next season as well?
Well, no, because again, if you can figure it out, if you can get this team going, maybe you can still make a Mountain West Conference tournament
Catch
run.
that lightning in the bottle
Yeah.
in the tourney.
You did it last year.
Yeah.
So, I mean, but yeah, look, realistically, you got to figure a lot of things out before that happens because, the first half last night, I thought the Lobos played pretty well, and San Diego State hit that three there just before the half, which made it a 5-point
When
lead.
that happened, I'm like, this team's just snake bit. I mean, who the heck hits that bomb like that?
Yeah, but San Diego State just came out in the second half and played really well, and the Lobos didn't, and that showed.
Well, I mean, they hit that three to end the half, which, come on. Even like when he hoisted it up, the announcer was like, "Oh wait, he did it too early," because there was like 3 seconds left when he. I mean, it's like you could have dribbled and kept going, and it's just like
gotten closer, yeah.
No, he just went, and it was like 3 seconds. It seemed like that thing went in the air forever, and it was like the minute it hit, my thought was, "This game's over. That's it. That's the nail in the coffin." And it turned out to be because they started the second half, and I think they hit three pointers in a row,
something like
that,
that.
And it was just like, bam, done. Finished. It's like the team was just busted. Now, I do want to say, because obviously, hosting the show every week, every day, I should say, you're going to get those calls today. Part of the thing is, I think Coach Weir, at the beginning of the season, I think he made the cardinal error of coaches, and he allowed the expectations. He kind of rode with the expectations and talked up this team a little bit, and now. Obviously, maybe Lyles, they were expecting more with Lyles, and they were expecting this team to be
It's
really
not Bob
good.
Davies. It's just Lyle. It's not Lyles.
Oh, sorry. Thank you.
Yeah.
Lyle. Anyway, they were expecting, obviously, and I think there were some articles in the paper. I know you got calls, and it was like, well, last year they got really hot, and this, look at the talent that came in, and this team's going to get really good, and the defense clicked, and the offense clicked, and everything, and we have more talent now here at UNM, talking as a Lobo fan. Obviously, that hasn't happened, and now they get the flip side.
Yeah, well, I think we're bought into it. Don't look, and I get it. We're at the halfway point now. Don't underestimate the impact of the Lyle injury had on this team. It rendered you.
You're right.
Without an experienced point guard. Case in point, you probably didn't watch it, but on Monday night, Duke, the #1 team in the country, they lose their point guard 5.5 minutes into the game, and they lose in overtime to an unranked Syracuse team at home.
Right.
I mean, when you take out a key component, even if it's someone who's not going to score a lot, although I think they expected Lyle to, when you take out a key piece like that, and you don't have someone that you can just plug in to take his place, that does have a big impact.
No doubt about it. I'm not, I understand that.
At some point in time, though, you're right.
Point, you got to move on.
You've got to figure it out. Absolutely, 100%. But that seems to be something that they haven't really recovered from.
Using what you were saying about Duke, that happened in the middle of the seaon at that game. Of course, you're scrambling to try to figure it out.
Sure.
I mean, Lyle has been gone now for the whole entire season.
Right. But point being, Duke's a team with like 7 McDonald's All-Americans. You would think, all right, we can just plug somebody else in and keep going.
No.
Right. If Duke can't do it, and you're right, it happened in the middle of the game. But point being, once you take out a key cog, the guy that's driving the bus, running the machine, the point guard, it's tough to recover from.
Now the big men, and you talked about the height. There's been a lot of talk about the height and the length on defense. But what about offense? Brad came in. His first game, he had a pretty good game. I think he had like 16 points that game. I think a lot of people had like stars in their eyes and thought that was going to be the savior. He hasn't really had that kind of an impact since then, has he?
Well, none of the big men have. And hold on, because I'm going to bring it all back around.
Sure.
But why haven't the big men had a big impact?
Well, they don't. They don't know how to post, and they don't know how to feed them the post.
Okay, it's the second part. They can't get the ball down inside to the big men.
Yeah, they can't.
Why do you think that is?
Because they don't have a good point guard or people that can.
Bingo.
However, guards can
again
fake
though.
And shoot. No, I hear you.
You're tall. You're taller than most of your opponents.
Right.
It shouldn't be that difficult, but the fact of the matter is, it has been.
And I do believe part of it is the big men. They do play flat-footed, except for Manigault, and I still don't understand. Now, I don't know how he played before, but it's like every time he puts the ball on the floor and penetrates, he's always under the backboard, always. And so when he goes to shoot, he can't jump because he'll smack his head on the back of the backboard. So he's always reaching
kind of
out
doing
and trying to flip it.
A little jump back thing. Yeah, he does.
It's very odd because and I think last night San Diego State gave him that. They gave him that. It's like, go ahead. And then he ended up either trying to force something or he stepped on the out of bounds line because he's too deep in. He's too under the basket. I would think somewhere along the line someone's got to correct that. I mean, obviously he can put the ball on the ground. He does, and he's very good at it. It's just that his angle in trying to get to the rim is really bad. And that hasn't changed all season long. And I don't know. Maybe I'm nitpicking too much, but it seems like that happened at least 5 or 6 times every game.
Part of the reason, and this isn't the only reason, and I'm not discounting what you said because you're accurate. When you have a problem getting the ball down low to the big guys, the big guys take it wherever they can get it, and sometimes that means being out of position or putting themselves out of position. You're 100% right that he finds himself in those situations a lot. But again, I think it all goes back to if you don't have someone who can consistently get the ball where it needs to be, then you're going to have issues.
So we got to take a break real quick. Is it fair to bust Micah's hump about Comic-Con? Do you go to Comic-Con?
I've been.
Did you dress up as anything?
No, good Lord, no. I'm a grown man.
I'm a grown man. Come on, what, are you knocking all the people that go to Comic-Con?
No. If that's your thing, that's cool.
Did you like it?
Yeah.
What did you go for? Did you go for the wrestling or boxers, the movie stars, or to go look at like the comic book characters?
No, I'm not a comic book guy, but yeah, I mean,
Okay.
there's always something for everybody, whether it's athletes, actors.
So what did you go for?
The
Ric Flair. Didn't you go to?
I did not. No.
Did you? Am I mistaken? Did I remember that you bought one of Ric Flair's gowns?
They're robes.
Robes, sorry.
No,
robes.
I did not.
But you'd want to.
I've got a buddy who has one that I've been thinking for a while now about purchasing, yes.
Would you wear it?
Hell yeah, I'd wear it. Dude, I would wear that thing everywhere.
If you wore that thing, I would set up the thing, I would play the jam that Ric Flair used to come out and you'd have to.
The theme from 2001
style and
Space
profile.
Odyssey. Dude,
Yeah.
I would wear that everywhere.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
That would be like the ultimate promo for the show. Not just here, well, it'd be harder on radio, but still.
By the way, real quick, if you want to be busting on people for dressing up and all, Alden, I don't know if you want to run out here real quick to get a close-up, but if you look at your oversized hat today.
Oversized hat, that's perfect.
Under your smaller head, you literally look like the mushroom from Mario Brothers. I'm dead. I've noticed that since the
The
beginning.
mushroom at Mario Brothers.
And I wasn't going to say anything.
But it was
since you brought it up, yeah, you look
giving
like
Michael a hard time. You're
like
going to come and jump to the defense.
Look at the camera. You look like the mushroom from Mario Brothers, dude.
Do the smile, yeah.
Awesome. Well, let's go ahead and take a quick break. We're going to come back with more Red Menace TV, but this time...
Easy. You got to give Alden time to get back in there so we can go to break.
Yeah.
Take your time, mushroom.
Well, Josh is there. See, I watch everything. I scope out everything. But we're going to have Micah come in. There's a big...
big LFA event coming up
LFA
next Friday,
and I know Micah's been all over that. And the dude has become like a superstar in Albuquerque.
He may be the hardest working man in Albuquerque show business.
Seriously, CageMinds.com is an amazing website. If you like combat sports, you got to go.
He also writes for MyMMAnews.com.
Right.
He's on my show every week.
I was going to say.
He co-hosts with Mike Adams on the Mic on the Sports Animal.
He's here.
He's everywhere.
Yeah,
he's here. He's there. He's everywhere.
He's awesome. And to think he was just like a young little Micah when we first met.
Oh my God, you're taking credit. Okay.
I'm not taking credit. I'm just saying he was a young Micah, but now he's like a star of star.
Go to break before I
stage.
jump on your head and get bonus points and grow big.
Do you have the hammer? We'll be back right after this.
Control and he gets it back. Deathridge, nice move all the way.
Lucero's free throw's no good. The rebound by Marquez, they took it away from him, and they're going to count down at the buzzer. Nine for Gallegos. Patterson, long three to beat the horn. Yes! Money ball for DP to end the third. Play from in front. Ramos on a crazy spin inside. Sutphin. Patterson to the rack. Send it in, DP.
Outlet is turned right back over. Rivas beats the buzzer. Oh! Maya Rivas!
Barasa, and Patterson just picked his pocket. David in transition, send it in, DP.
Top-ranked Cleveland Storm tomorrow night. Blankenship takes it to the basket and throws down the tomahawk slam, and he's fouled.
Deathridge at the 2-on-1. Aragon, put it down.
Franklin tried to split two, and he has it taken away by Mohammed. Ahead to Munn for the alley-oop slam.
Crafters, proud supporter of Proview Sports Network.
Are you sure we're supposed to be doing this?
Don't worry, I've watched him do it 1,000 times. Come on, what's the worst that can happen?
No! Bad dog!
Hi, welcome to Car Crafters. What happened?
Don't worry, we'll make it like it never happened.
Car Crafters! It's like it never happened!
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili, breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of Proview Sports Network.
Dreamstyle Remodeling has been wowing homeowners in New Mexico since 1989. Selected as Best Custom Home Remodeler for 3 consecutive years by readers of the Albuquerque Journal, we're also your exclusive provider for top home improvement brands like Renewal by Anderson, Four Seasons, Blaze King, and many others. Founded and headquartered in Albuquerque, Dreamstyle Remodeling is family-owned and now employs more than 500 people across the southwestern U.S. In fact, we've helped more than 60,000 homeowners improve their home in New Mexico, Arizona, California, Idaho, and West Texas. We're committed to providing a superior customer experience. We've earned 4.6 stars with hundreds of online reviews and have an A+ with the BBB. Dreamstyle Remodeling is a proud supporter of UNM Athletics. Visit our beautiful 10,000 square foot showroom at 1460 Renaissance Boulevard across from Sam's Club or dreamstyleremodeling.com to make your home remodeling dreams come true.
Sadie's is a proud supporter of New Mexico high school sports and athletics, and we here at Proview Networks would like to thank Sadie's for their continued support in helping us bring you all of your New Mexico high school sports coverage.
Welcome to the place where we talk about people getting punched in the face. This is Caged Minds. I'm Micah Frankel. This week, you have the debut of the UFC on ESPN. It starts off on ESPN Plus for your early prelims. You jump over to ESPN for some more prelims, headlined by the one and only Donald Cowboy Cerrone, returning to the lightweight division, taking on young up-and-comer Alex Hernandez. That's a pivotal one in the top 15 of the lightweight division. And then, confusingly enough, how you were on ESPN Plus and you jump back over to ESPN Plus as we get the main card going. UFC really looking forward to fights like Paige Van Zandt versus Rachel Ostovich, and then you get up to the main event where you have the bantamweight title holder TJ Dillashaw dropping down to 125 pounds, being the first title challenger to Henry Cejudo's split decision victory over Demetrius Johnson claimed flyweight title. Could this be the death of the flyweight division? Is Henry Cejudo the savior of the division if he is victorious? A lot of those questions will be answered in Brooklyn this Saturday night. Got a little bit ahead of myself because earlier that morning I forgot to mention you guys also want to check out the Bleacher Report app. You can watch the first One Championship event with their new deal between Bleacher Report and Turner Sports. One Championship now available on a major streaming service here in the United States. Then we follow to the next weekend where you have local action, locally live. We've been talking about it for weeks. LFA, Legacy Fighting Alliance, their first event here in the Land of Enchantment, going to be at the Route 66 Casino on the 25th. Got a huge card. The next night on the 26th, there is who we had talked to last week, Fidel Maldonado Jr., headlining Cold War 5 at Buffalo Thunder, the Holmes boxing event. Right now, though, to get back to that LFA event, we're going to welcome in this week's guest. We're joined by undefeated welterweight Josh Moreno. Josh, thanks for being here.
No problem. Thank you, Micah. Well, it's really good to be here. Thank you for the opportunity. Really excited to talk about this upcoming card.
So, Access TV, going to get a televised fight. How exciting was finally getting that? I know that you had been in talk with the promotion before and circumstances had not allowed you to be able to fight. So how exciting is it to now have this opportunity?
It is really excited, especially because of the fact that I'm allowed to be performing in this card like LFA and performing in my hometown of Albuquerque, New Mexico. Yes, like you mentioned, the circumstances that happened last time that I was going to fight for LFA, it was unusual. It was crazy the way it happened, but you know, everything happens for a reason, and I am ready to put on a show for my Albuquerque, New Mexico people.
A little different for you not being in the main event, right? I think basically since you turned pro, I think we've seen you main event basically was King of the Cage, Jackson's MMA series. A little different now, getting to kick off the main card, right?
Yes, absolutely. Even in my amateurs, like for some reason, from the first fight in my amateurs, it went straight to co-main event to main event, and you know, frankly, I got really tired of it because first thing you want to do after you win, you want to go celebrate with your people, want to go eat or something, and everything's closed, you know. And now I get to kick off at 7 p.m. Get to kick off this amazing card, put on, you know, set the tone for everybody else, you know, and I'm really excited to be the first fight, get out of there and celebrate.
Now, you know a lot of the guys on the card really well with Donald Sanchez, Henry Barahona, Ricky Esquivel. leaving off people, Joby Sanchez. What is it like knowing all of you guys and all of you being on this card together, doing this for Albuquerque?
You know, it's amazing because it's really rare that this happens. You know, there's a great lineup, especially people from New Mexico, fighters from New Mexico. You know, and that's the amazing part. You know, there's not people from other countries or other states or other cities that are going to be lining up for this show representing Albuquerque. It's just straight up New Mexico people, you know.
Well, it's funny in that aspect because one side of the card is Albuquerque, and then we actually do have the international flavor because Henry Barahona is taking on Natan Levy from Israel. Oh, yeah, not to mention Mike Hamandaka, who you're taking on, is from Brazil. So we do have a couple Brazilian guys, not to mention even Tejino, who used to train with you guys.
Absolutely.
Also, he's a Brazilian that's here from Albuquerque. So we have our local top guys and a lot of international flavor making this a stacked card. What do you think, looking at your matchup specifically, looking at Mike Hunt, a guy who, from what I've seen, because he's been featured on LFA a couple times, he likes to get in there and he likes to strike and he likes to throw down?
You know, I'm really excited about this matchup. You've been to my fights, you've seen my fights, you know, and for some reason, every time I hit somebody with the first strike, they want to bull rush me and, you know, they want to take me to the ground. But I got an ace up my sleeve. They don't know that my grappling has been coming along, and you know I've been finishing these great wrestlers, the great grapplers in the second round, and then that's why I'm so excited about this fight. If he's going to stand with me, you know that's really excited, and it's going to be really exciting for the fans because you know I'm no joke when it comes up to the stand-up.
Do you look at this as an opportunity to really make a statement, to really, I don't know, go viral or something with this one?
Not necessarily. I mean, everybody knows the potential I have. I know the potential I have, the skills that I have. And I mean, hard work beats talent anytime, any day of the week. But I think that there's levels to this game. And I've been training for so long. Just because I'm 4-0 only right now doesn't mean that I haven't been training and haven't been fighting in the past in my amateurs for, you know, for the longest time. So just because I'm 4-0 doesn't necessarily mean I'm new to this game. But my skill level and the level I'm at in MMA, it's in another dimension.
And for people that don't know Josh's story, that haven't kept up with us like Caged Minds, you did have quite a lengthy amateur run, right?
I did. I really did. Kickboxing and boxing, I went 22-0. With my MMA record amateurs, I went to 25-0.
How do you feel, even though only you're 4-0, you got all this experience, so how do you feel that experience has been invaluable to helping you through these first 4 professional fights?
Well, the main thing is because most of these new fighters, they go pro right away. They don't understand, you know, what it takes to be in there and actually get to fight somebody that's wanting to fight you as well. You know, most of these people take tomato cans, or they want to fight these other people that are not that experienced, and it's easy for them to fight and get that quick knockout for somebody that doesn't really know what they're doing. But when they get into like a situation like LFA and these promotions, and then they find themselves in a situation where this guy is experienced, they don't know what to do. They don't have that heart.
When did you feel that this was right for you, that this was what you wanted to do?
I got to go back to the Elias Prochet fight. You know, this guy they were saying this was the second coming of God. This guy was going to be, you know, the next UFC top star potentially or whatever. And, you know, I took him out with, honestly, I can say nobody really believing in me besides my wife. Nobody really believed in me besides she did. And, you know, I knocked him out in the first round. And because of that fight right there, it portrayed to my career now. You know, I took those hits from him, which, I mean, like you've seen before, I've been main sparring partners with Andrei Arlovski, Alistair Overeem, you know, the top UFC guys, and nobody really knew me till then. And a lot of people were surprised about that because they said, you're a short, you're short heavyweight, light heavyweight. You don't look that muscular. You know, you got a lot of flab there going on, but, you know, I got these hands. These hands are powerful, you know, and I'm quick for my weight, light heavyweight.
And what has it been like now, physically feeling the transition coming down there where you've made that move? You did have a couple fights, even though you were a smaller guy, at heavyweight, and now you're making 170. So that's a good 42-pound difference in the cage, at least. You know, how has it felt physically to this change?
It is amazing, you know. It was a long journey, you know, and a lot of people, especially Ricky, was one of the people that said, you know, you need to get your butt down to 185, 170, because I think that's a lot more safer for you, for your body type. And I really didn't want to listen because I had those amazing knockouts, light heavyweight and heavyweight. But, you know, this transition was good health-wise. I felt better. I'm quicker, I'm stronger, and that was the only thing I was worried about, that I wasn't going to bring my power with me at 170. But it's, you know, it's actually been more amazing because I'm quicker, and the power's still there. So that's a really good mix.
How do you put the confidence and the mentality to, I believe, what was it, the second or third fight when you took on Cody, where you told Ricky, your manager, before he was your man, Sonny, give me anybody, and he finds an all-American wrestler who we knew was just going to bull rush you.
Yeah.
Where do you find the confidence to just say, I'll take on anybody, to take on a challenge like that?
Well, it was more of testing my own skills and see if this MMA thing was going to be a really good thing for me. You know, me being a striker, I can't be just held accountable and saying and hoping for somebody to stand with me. You know, it's MMA. You know, it's always going to be grapplers or great wrestlers. And I told Ricky, you know, this is actually going to be really good. This is going to test my will. This is going to test what I'm really about. Working with Harry St. Ledger, you know, he really got me going. My grappling, you know, he really elevated it to a really good level where I was really confident in myself. And wherever they wanted to take me, I was going to be really comfortable.
Not wanting to give away too much of the game plan. But you even say yourself, you're a sprawl and brawl kind of fighter.
Yes, absolutely. There's no better way to put it.
And more apparent than that, even the last win when you hit a submission, it's a guillotine. So it's something defending a takedown, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know, it's a really good transition because, again, Harry St. Ledger is an amazing coach. Nick Urso, he's really an amazing coach as well. And they're really getting my wrestling defense, my submission game really going. So I'm really, really proud of that.
Now, and that's a little bit different. What's it like working with Nick? He was somebody that, I believe even your last fight, he was a little more focused on his fight career, and now he's doing a lot more cornering. We saw him, you now, Landon Venata, we saw him in the UFC. So what's that like working with Nick as a coach?
It's amazing. You know, I love that guy. You know, he's I can honestly say that he's one of the main coaches that actually pushes me. You know, I've never felt that type of coaching before. You know, there has always been those coaches that, you know, they kind of just want to brush you off the shoulder and say you're doing good when you know you're really not. Nick, he doesn't try to pitch you any lies. He tells you how it is. He tells you what he wants you to do, and that's what I really love about the guy, that he actually cares about the fighter. He cares about me, and I'm really proud to have him in my corner. As fighting, leaving it on the side for coaching, I think that was a really good transition because it's not every day that somebody that went to fight in the big stage like he did, he has that experience and he has that knowledge to show you.
Has it been a different aspect, and is it different in his style, kind of listening to Nick?
You know, it kind of is, just because I said, you know, I've never had that coaching before, you know, so it is really different.
And also, I heard that there's been a transition. Is this the first camp where you're a full-time fighter, or the second camp?
It is the second camp. You know, for my last fight in June 30th, my first fight at 170, that's when I decided to, you know, quit my job and dedicate myself to MMA.
Now, how has that been, and how has that changed training and your aspect on everything?
Fight-wise, it's been great because I can dedicate myself full-time to fighting. Income-wise, it sucks because, you know, it's the fight business, and if you want to do this, you got to sacrifice something in order to get to where you want to be. So, you know, it's unfortunate that not only myself am I going through, you know, struggle time right now, but my wife and kids are as well. But, you know, I think that this sacrifice is going to pay off at the end of the day.
And getting an opportunity like this, you can see almost that light at the end of the tunnel, so to speak?
Yes, absolutely. You know, this is just the beginning of the greater things that are going to come for me and my family.
As a martial artist, for those of us that have seen you, that have watched you live, what should we expect out of this version of Josh Marino that we're going to see come the 25th?
You're going to see the best version of myself, of Josh Marino. You know, it's not going to be only sprawl and brawl, like you said. You know, I do love to do that, but at the same time, you know, it's a bigger promotion, and I know the guys are only going to get more competitive, but I'm more technical. I'm full of energy. You know, this time at 170 again, I feel more stronger, more faster, quicker, and I know that I'm more talented and more hardworking, and it's going to be a firework show. It's going to be a firework fight, and I just hope that, you know, this guy brings it.
We've talked a lot about you during this interview. Has that with the camps been like a lot about you and not so much focusing on what your opponent's going to do, but bettering you, not game planning so much?
Yes, absolutely, because I don't need to worry about what he's going to do. You know, he's going to come in and fight. That's all I hope. But myself, I need to stick to my game plan, which is always be prepared at all costs. You know, I would take a fight in a week's notice, in the months, 3 months notice. I don't really care. You know, I care what I'm going to do in the ring.
We know that it's a stat card. I can't tell you guys this enough. Josh is one of 7 guys that is headline a card that's going to, in the state of New Mexico, that's going to be on this card. It's the biggest event we've had since 2013. Come on out to the Route 66 Casino, or if you can't, you can still watch it on Access TV, LFA 58. It's next weekend. We'll see you guys at the Route 66 Casino, and more Red Menace TV in just a moment.
This is Coach Borrego of the Charlotte Hornets. Hello to all you parents out there in Albuquerque, New Mexico. I want to congratulate 38 years for the AYBL. You guys are doing a great job. You've shaped a lot of lives, young men and women, and you'll continue to do that. Parents, get involved, sign your kid up. It's a great program. It helped shape who I am today, helped shape me as a basketball player, as a coach. So get out there, sign them up. Have a great season. Good luck to everybody.
The Barley Room, proud sponsor of Proview Networks for over 9 years, is pleased to introduce Black Iron Catering. From weddings and family reunions to birthdays and office parties, Black Iron Catering is perfect for any event. Contact Jamie at 505-459-8259 and book your event today. Black Iron Catering. Let us bring our kitchen to you.
Is this my car? State Farm knows that for every one of those moments,
This is ridiculous!
there's one of these.
Is this my car? What? This is ridiculous.
This can't be happening!
This can't be happening.
Oh, it's happening, sweetheart.
Oh, it's happening, sweetheart.
Shut up!
Shut up!
That's why State Farm is there, with car insurance for when things go wrong, but also here with car loans to help life go right. State Farm.
Talk to State Farm agent Marty Size or Michelle Rudolph in Albuquerque today.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of Proview Sports Network.
Get into the game with Garden Swartz Team Sales. They have everything you need, from screen printing, embroidery, and digital printing services, high school letterman jackets, and all high school and club uniforms, and individual and team apparel with the most reliable brands like Speedline, Rollins, and Wilson. And don't forget to check out the latest F7 Shut helmet. It's all at Garden Swartz Team Sales. Give them a call, 505-884-1234. Garden Swartz Team Sales.
At Gala Chevrolet, our master technicians service every make and model no matter where you purchase your vehicle. But that's not all. We also provide certified service on every GM model. So if your car's been acting a little funny lately or something just doesn't seem right, don't wait. Bring it in to the most modern service facility in the entire state and let us make sure that you're driving a vehicle you and your family can depend on. Service done right the first time, every time, right here at the all-new Gala Chevrolet.
Hey, welcome back to Red Menace TV. Micah still didn't tell us how he's going to dress up for Comic-Con. Do you have any suggestions to help him?
No. I don't think he has any intentions of dressing up.
No intentions?
The only person who wants him to dress up is you.
Yeah. I mean, I thought that was the rule. If you go to Comic-Con, you have to dress up. Alden was willing to lend him his Wolverine uniform.
Yeah.
I don't know if it had the claws in it or not. Does it have the claws, Alden? Just say yes or no. No, he says, no claws.
You've never been to a Comic-Con, have you?
I have never been to
a...
Yeah. Just bring real knives and stuff into
Yeah, exactly, dude. What the heck? But
you can't bring like a sword or something?
No,
like if you're doing
not a real
Michonne
one.
from The Walking Dead?
No, you cannot. By the way, more people don't dress up than do.
Oh,
dress
really?
up. Yeah.
Okay. Maybe I should go someday.
You
I
should.
just don't know why I'd want to go, though. I don't know. It seems like a cool idea. Maybe if I was a lot younger, it would be really cool.
Hold on. A college student like yourself? I mean, come on, dude.
I'm seeking higher education. Hey, speaking of
higher education.
I don't know how this transfers, but we were talking about Lobo basketball, but I just saw a tweet that says if you're a federal employee that's kind of suffering due to the partial government shutdown, that you can get free tickets to go to the women's basketball game on Wednesday and the men's basketball game on Saturday afternoon versus Wyoming.
Well, there you go.
So there you go. You can get free tickets. Oh, $2 hot dogs, $2 soda pops. That's a good deal. I don't know. What does a Lobo dog go for these days in the pit?
I have no idea.
You don't know? Oh, you get freebies, huh?
No, not really.
Yeah, you do.
I'm just never up there at the concession stands. I come in, I go down the ramp.
You go down. As you come down the ramp, there's someone there. Lobo Louie's there, handing you a hot dog and a Coke, ready to go.
Dude, I'm not Andy Reid walking into Arrowhead Stadium where the fans are handing him food. I wish I was. Don't get me wrong, but no, I'm there well before Lobo Louie probably gets there, well before the doors open. Usually, and I go down. I go to the broadcast area, set up what needs to be set up, and I'm there until the end. Because I'm only walking up that ramp once, and that's when it's over and done with.
Yeah. There's no way you're doing that twice, huh?
I'm not saying, oh, Portnoy, I'll be back in a minute. I got to run back up the ramp. that just doesn't happen.
That doesn't happen, huh?
No, never.
Okay, all right. Speaking of Andy Reid, obviously now this is
real quick before we segue, we should mention the Lobo women briefly.
Yes.
Phenomenal season, 13-2. They're 9-1 at home, 4-1 on the road, and 3-1 in conference play.
And still can't crack the top 25. What's going on?
Well, if you look at the women's top 25, it's basically all power conference teams.
Right.
That's the biggest issue there. But Coach Bradbury has the ladies playing very well. They're in action Wednesday night against tonight as we do the show live against San Diego State.
And once again, if you're part of the government partial shutdown, you do get free tickets into the game.
Boom.
So that's not a bad deal. Go see some quality basketball in the pit.
Yeah.
And then you can go Saturday as well. I think Wyoming's 0-4 in conference.
I don't know.
If I'm not mistaken, in the men's side. I'm not talking about the women's side. The men's side, 0-4 in conference, and the Lobos are like 2-3 or 2-2, something like that.
2-3.
Yeah, so there you go. So awesome. Anyways, now let's segue. Obviously, every day you're on the radio show, The Sports Bar, with your co-host, Michael Trujillo, who's a huge Kansas City Chiefs fan.
Yeah.
Is he excited?
I believe he is, yes.
Yeah. Do you think, well, he may be the only Kansas City Chiefs fan in the state of New Mexico. I don't know.
Could be.
Do you think Chiefs fans are excited, or do you think they're wary and scared because Andy Reid's still their coach?
No, I think they're excited, and they should be. They're a good team. I'd be more scared because
Tom Brady.
The GOAT.
The washed up Tom Brady.
The GOAT and the GOAT coach are coming in.
It's kind of funny because before the games this weekend, and a lot of people were like, well, maybe Brady should consider retirement. I think he's done. He didn't have a good year, even though he's one of the top quarterbacks in the league still. He could be finished. And then they just put a clinic on San Diego. I mean, a lot of people had bought into the San Diego Chargers.
LA Chargers.
Or LA Chargers, whatever.
Yes.
Southern California Chargers, whatever you want to call them at this point. A lot of people had bought into that team. They bought into them, and boy, the Patriots just thumped them.
The Patriots did what the Patriots do in the playoffs.
8 in a row, is that right? Eight
AFC championships in a row.
Is that like crazy or what? I mean,
dude, let me see if I can remember these off the top of my head. Since the last time the Patriots weren't in the AFC championship game,
right?
The hot iPhone was the iPhone 4. There have been 17 different iPhones since the last time the Patriots missed the AFC championship.
Is that crazy? I mean,
that's crazy.
Seriously, think about that. Because, I mean, we live in a day and age of free agency.
Yeah.
Where teams get hot. And, I mean, how many teams have gotten hot and cold since the time that the Patriots have been in the AFC championship game? I mean, if you really think about it. I'm trying to think 8 years ago, who was the hot team, the hot up-and-coming young team? I can't even remember. But it's insane. I mean, and Brady says he still wants to go longer, another year or two, and I don't see why he shouldn't.
That's what he wants to do. I mean, he's playing at a high enough level. Yeah, why not?
Speaking of a team that kind of got hot and then got cold, and I know you seem to think that I picked them, but I seem to think I said they had a puncher's chance, but I didn't think they were going to win.
Oh, you were all over your Cowboys.
I was not all over the Cowboys.
All
in fact,
over them.
It was just a few months ago here on this very show where they had gotten smoked right after the Cooper trade, and I said, I don't think this team wins another game this year.
Right. Well, you're a flip-flopper who's known to quit on his team.
That's me, flip-flopping.
Yeah. So, right, but you had gotten back on that bandwagon.
Well, I mean, yeah, I thought they were decent. I thought the defense would give them a chance. I didn't know that the Rams were just going to thump that defense like nobody's business. Offensively,
nobody runs on the Cowboy defense.
I really thought that,
except for the Rams, who had not one but 200-yard
yeah,
rushes.
and I really thought that, and that's what was shocking. I had no faith in that offense. I still don't.
Yeah.
I think Ezekiel Elliott's a good running back, but I don't think he's a great running back.
He's a great running back.
And so far, he hasn't shown himself to be clutch when they really need that 1-yard run. Not like a guy like Emmitt Smith or something like that. He's just not clutch.
It couldn't possibly be because the Rams' defense was good and just.
Well, that's part of it. And then, the other thing is, and the Cowboys took too long to do this, on those 3rd and 1s, I don't know why you don't roll out your quarterback and then run some sort of option, which they had been doing all through the victories in the regular season. But for whatever, I don't know if they were saving Dak for the next game or what it was. But, let me put it this way. We talked about Tom Brady. When it's 3rd and inches or 3rd and 1, that guy's sticking his nose in there with the quarterback sneak, and he's going to get it. He doesn't save himself for the next game.
Probably not fair to compare other quarterbacks to the GOAT.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're right, but I mean, I'm just saying certain players, they just know when it's time to get clutch and when it's time not to get clutch, and for whatever reason, he didn't. Saints, of course, come out and burst the bubble of Nick Foles. I know there's going to be a team, and we talked about this before. I know there's going to be a team that buys that fool's gold and pays Nick Foles tons of dough, because he's not going to be able to get them to where they need to go.
It's not fool's gold. Look, Foles isn't Brady, but what Foles is clutch, and he comes up big in big moments. Even that final drive, the pass that was intercepted, the ball went right through Alshon Jeffrey's hands.
And is the?
It's not like it was a bad throw. It's not like he missed the mark. He overthrew him. He threw it wide, whatever. The ball was right there. And I think Jeffrey looked just a second because he was thinking of getting upfield. The ball goes right through his hands into the arms of a receiver.
Is the internet cold-blooded? Because the memes came hot and heavy as soon as. I mean, it took maybe 3 minutes for that play, and it was like the game wasn't even over yet. They hadn't even gotten into victory formation yet, and already the memes were there. I think the one, and okay, by the way, just me saying that, can we stop with the bird box memes already? We get it.
Oh my God. More so than that, since you brought up bird box, let's go away from memes. Have you seen all these stories of people getting in car accidents because
crazy,
they're driving
right?
blindfolded? What the heck?
Have you seen the movie?
No.
Okay, I'll be honest with you. I was like, this is boring. What the hell am I watching this movie for? It was terrible. It wasn't that good.
You should have blindfolded yourself.
Yeah, right. I'll tell you what. I should have blindfolded myself because it was really, that's kind of the way watching is like the whole time I'm sitting there waiting, when is this getting good? Because everyone's loving this movie. When does it get good? But you're right. I mean, don't blindfold yourself driving.
That's probably not a good idea.
And don't use that photo anymore for memes because it's just gotten tired.
It's no crying Jordan, that's for sure.
Speaking of tired, we're going to take a quick break because we need to rest.
Do you need a nap?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Where's my blindfold?
Crafters, proud supporter of Proview Sports Network.
Are you sure we're supposed to be doing this?
Don't worry, I've watched him do it 1,000 times. Come on, what's the worst that could happen?
No! Bad dog! Hi, welcome to Car Crafters. What happened?
Don't worry, we'll make it like it never happened.
Car Crafters, it's like it never happened.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of Proview Sports Network.
Dream Style Remodeling has been wowing homeowners in New Mexico since 1989. Selected as Best Custom Home Remodeler for 3 consecutive years by readers of the Albuquerque Journal, we're also your exclusive provider for top home improvement brands like Renewal by Anderson, Four Seasons, Blaze King, and many others. Founded and headquartered in Albuquerque, Dream Style Remodeling is family-owned and now employs more than 500 people across the southwestern U.S. In fact, we've helped more than 60,000 homeowners improve their home in New Mexico, Arizona, California, Idaho, and West Texas. We're committed to providing a superior customer experience. We've earned 4.6 stars with hundreds of online reviews and have an A+ with the BBB. Dream Style Remodeling is a proud supporter of UNM Athletics. Visit our beautiful 10,000 square foot showroom at 1460 Renaissance Boulevard across from Sam's Club, or dreamstyleremodeling.com to make your home remodeling dreams come true.
What do you want to talk about, Mike? We've got a few minutes. We talked a little bit about NFL. We talked about the Lobos. Do you want to talk about the Chicago Cubs? Don't pitchers and catchers report soon?
So, yeah, we're not that far off from spring training.
So I did see something that I did want to talk about. Once again, internet, because the internet's the place where you find all kinds of stuff. Comparing, and you mentioned Tom Brady as the GOAT, trying to do a comparison or contrasting Tom Brady as the greatest of all time in NFL and LeBron James as the greatest in basketball. Thoughts?
Here's the problem. First of all, one of those two is not the greatest in their respective
Right,
sport.
thank you.
so that's the flaw in the way you just presented that.
Well, I'm saying, I saw that meme, I saw that they tried to do that story. I can't remember which, I think it was ESPN, I could be wrong, but or Fox, one of them. They tried to do that, and I was like thinking, that's not even like, I mean, I don't even think LeBron's like, I mean, he's top 5, I guess.
Absolutely. No, he's definitely top 5 for sure.
I mean, obviously you have Jordan.
Yeah.
You would have Kobe.
Kobe's probably
in there.
Yeah.
I would say, I don't know if you would agree, Magic Johnson would probably be in that mix.
I don't know if he'd be quite that high up, but he's certainly in your top 10 easily.
Yeah, and then Wilt Chamberlain, LeBron.
Yeah, I mean, you could go on and on.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I mean, I don't think there's anybody with half a mind that watches sports, that watches football, wouldn't think that Tom Grady, yeah, he's Tom Brady's kind of cousin. Tom Brady is not
Tom
the greatest.
Brady, wasn't he on Sanford and Son?
Yeah, that's it. He wore a hat like this, and he had the
Fred's
scruffy
buddy?
beard.
Yeah.
No, I don't think there's anyone in their right mind that wouldn't say that Tom Brady is the greatest quarterback, if not football player of all time.
It's hard to say football player just because
of positions.
The different positions have such distinct roles. But he's certainly the greatest quarterback of all time.
Yeah, I mean,
with all due respect to Joe Montana.
Yeah, I mean, I think Joe Montana was a very good quarterback. But I don't even think there's a close second to Tom Brady, to be honest with you.
Montana would be the close second.
He would be second.
Yeah,
maybe.
He's close, but yeah, but I think Brady has surpassed him. Absolutely.
I mean, come on, 8 AFC championships in a row, 5 Super Bowls, right? 5 Super Bowls, is that right? And then how many appearances? 7 now. And I believe Sunday it'll be 8. I think they go in and they beat the Chiefs. And I think this was my pick to start the playoffs, and I'm going to stick with that. I said I believe it was going to be the Saints and the Patriots, and I haven't seen anything that would change that.
Yeah, I said this. I've been saying this on the radio show for 2 weeks now. I'm pretty sure I said this last week here on the TV show. One of the many things I've learned in life.
Yeah.
One of life's great lessons. Never pick against the Patriots in the playoffs. Doesn't mean they're going to win every game.
Right.
But if you stick with that, never bet against the Patriots,
you have a good shot.
You're going to come out to the good more times than not.
I mean, even if you go to the casino and lay a few bucks down, you're probably you have a great shot of winning.
More times than not, you're walking away with money.
Absolutely. And then the Saints and the Rams, like I said, I think the Rams, decimated the Cowboy defense. There's no way to put it any other way. Part of that is, and
is that your litmus test as to who the better team is, how they performed against the Cowboys?
So part of the thing with that was, I thought the Cowboys' defense came out hot. I mean, they did stop them and held them to field goals in that first quarter, but the Cowboy offense kind of let them down and kept them on the field the entire game. Eventually, you're going to break down. I don't care who it is. I think the Saints obviously can trade punches offensively with the Rams. Drew Brees, another Hall of Fame quarterback, a great quarterback right now. You would say maybe the top quarterback in the league right now, not greatest of all time, but I think the argument could be made. I think that they can trade punches with the Rams as far as offensively. Can you imagine you have the top 4 offenses going this weekend? You expecting some high-scoring games?
Probably, because of the defenses, only one of those teams really has a good defense. And it's probably not the one you think.
It's the Patriots.
It's the Patriots. 7th ranked scoring defense this year.
Yeah.
Which I think makes that Chiefs-Patriots matchup really interesting. I know we were talking off air, and I said I thought the Rams would win. I don't see both road teams winning. So, so I'm probably flipping that to the Saints.
There you go. Hey, we'll see you next week. More, I blew that. We'll see you next week on Red Menace TV. For Michael Carlisle, for Alden, I'm Leroy. We'll see you. God bless you.